This is the first of 4 poster presentations. These are also going to be like quick lightning talks. Our first is by Chen Yang, who will talk about theory narrative agents through dynamic cognitive frameworks for emergent storytelling. Take it away.
Okay, thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Chen Yang. I'm from Computer Graphics Lab from ETH Zurich. I know I have a very long and abstract title, so please allow me to illustrate our research with a fun story generation example. Every story has a protagonist. Let's say we have Hestia, the goddess of Earth in Greek mythology, as our protagonist. And the story starts with such a setting that one day, Zeus, king of the gods, has seen that in modern world, the women had the audacity to protest for equal pay and equal rights. And so Zeus didn't like it, and he told Hestia, go to the earth, bring the women back to their role. However, we want that the outcome of the story at the end would be that the Hestia tells Zeus, no, and I'm going to support the feminists instead. The question is, how are we going to conduct automatic story generation so that we reach the desired story ending, but we also make the transition of Hestia believable and plausible? In other words, our research aimed to find a way to balance between uncontrollable profile-driven autonomy and rigid adherence to authorial intent. To achieve this, we drew inspirations from cognitive science and proposed our framework, Dirigent. Our framework has 2 text generators, textual real world, which generate story events, and a protagonist who perceives those story events and choose their actions based on its defined profile. The generation takes turns, and together the generated actions and stories will form the final story. Now let's have a look how our agents are modeled. Our agent profile has 2 parts, the ideal world and beliefs. I'm sure that possible world theory is not a strange, like unfamiliar word here. And so the ideal words capture the vision of the agent of how the world ideally should be. Here we conducted ideal words around the social roles the agent undertakes in the story context. For example, for the role goddess of Hestia, she might have an ideal state that the mortals should value their family and they unify around her. And beliefs, on the other hand, contains their knowledge about themselves and world. For example, at the beginning of the story, Hestia believes that Zeus' order is to be obeyed. So in each turn where the agent needs to generate an action, the ideal words are taken to compare with textual real world and evaluate what's the current tension of the agent. And then the beliefs are used to brainstorm the plausible actions for the agent to take. And then the tensions are again used to evaluate the actions, and the action which can reduce the most of the tension will be chosen as the best action. So this way we ensure that the action taken will be rooted in agent's beliefs and values. However, when the generation deviates from the desired story outline, we enter a story enforcement mode. In this mode, we check what is the required action. And then, like Hestia need to feel compassion, and we consider in comparison to those ideal words, which are the tensions that needed to trigger this action. And then we find out what should that event be to be planted into the textual real world so that this action will be naturally the best action will be chosen by the agent. This is a very high-level idea of how the profile is conducted and how our framework works. If you're interested, please read my paper or come to the poster session to talk to me. So after the high-level idea of our framework, we evaluated our framework on 5 story generation prompts against 2 state-of-art baselines. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention the text analysis done in our framework are supported by large language model. So we conducted user study where users need to compare 2 generated stories side by side. And as conclusion, our framework performs better in character-related dimensions, such as character development and character motivations. Additionally to the better performance, We also find that if we plot the tensions we receive from each generation step, we have a quite interesting tension curve at the end. For example, you can see at the end, the role of those subjects has a very high negative tension because Hestia decided to fight against those. However, her role as women tension has lowered down because she started to support and see what's the value for women should be for her. So yeah, I hope you have a quick idea of how our framework looks like. And if you're interested, feel free to come to the process session, talk to me. And thank you for your